Fuck yeah. All right. Well, a bunch of us, I got a bunch of messages. People can't make the call and they're going to miss it. They'll watch the recording. So, cool. That will, that is what it is. Does anyone have to jump off early or are we good to go? We're good. Okay, cool. Pay no attention to my shirt. I really run the show here. Don't have to ask my wife permission to do anything. Not you. Um, Let me get this up here before I start recording. Get some shit in the background. Okay. Did I? Oh, I am recording. Start recording. I'm losing my mind today. Been up too early, too many meetings already. Okay, cool. Another week that is it me or did the last week feel like it went by in like 2 days? Like I feel like we just talked. A couple of really important letters sent to you guys. Um, the most important one, it's one that gets finessed and shared in every single uh, BTS90. That's really understanding tactical snacks, really understanding what it is. And for some of you, feedback that I've gotten, got a really nice message from Marcos, who can't make the call, and a couple other people, how they're really getting into the tactical snacks. And when you start to understand how much fun they are, and it's something that, I had a call this morning, and the guy he might actually be on the call at some point. Will said he's going to jump on. He joined for this session, but we were talking about how me in my 60s is moving faster and harder than like these young 20 and 30-year-old black belts. I was at an Operation Black Site event, teaching there as the combatives guy, and like these stud jiu-jitsu black belts asking me like, how the hell do you hit so hard? How do you move so fast and you're in your 60s? And the real answer, hang on a sec, I got to close my door because just as the meeting started, the leaf blower starts. The fucking leaf blower. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Um, and a lot of people don't realize this because I'm a fairly thick, like little, like I'm 105'8", 195 pounds. I'm pretty thick. I never went to the gym, right? I never, was pumping weights. I never did, Olympic lifts and cables and all that stuff as a routine. Of course, I screwed around with that shit because everyone did, but I was never that guy. This was all done through moving other humans, like grappling with people, doing scenarios. But what a lot of people don't realize is, I used to do that 7 days a week for fucking decades. Um, and I would tell people what I'd say I don't do weights, and they didn't believe me. They wanted me to be on steroids and doing weights, and I go like, if I'm grabbing another man in class, I got 20 people in class, and everyone's 180, 170, 205, and I'm hitting people, grabbing them and twisting them and moving them. Isn't that like working cables and weights, but in a like a more practical, dynamic way? Do you guys understand? I was always moving weight. The weight happened to be another body. So if I was doing 1,000 side kicks that week against a 200-pound bag, wasn't I generating force there? Wasn't I? But the real thing, and it's something that you can all hear me good, right? Audio's good. Okay. Um, the real thing is when I started traveling, when things got busy and I closed my schools in the early 90s and I just was on the road all the time, how did I stay in shape there? And I would go to all these tactical conferences and, for my cops on the call and stuff like that, these guys, like if the conference started at 8 in the morning, the hotel gym was packed like from 5 on. As soon as it opened, or if it was 24 hours, there were cops in there just training. I never did that. I hated that stuff. It just wasn't me. And so people would ask me, well, how do you stay in shape? And I realized that I always did tactical snacks. And I've talked about this before, right? And it's just like that weird part of me that no matter what I do, there's always a like a hologram of a movie fight about to happen in my mind. And it's creepy and freaky and fun, right? Because a lot of times I don't, I literally could walk out to the car and I'll imagine like two people here, and then what am I going to do? Like I'm not even reacting to it. It just floats there. And it happens, I'm 65 now. I'll be walking out, like walking upstairs to bed last night with a glass of water in my hand, and I go, someone jumped out of here, I throw the water in their face. Like I just see the shit. And I'm not saying you have to do that, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you don't do it. In fact, I think there's something wrong with me. But the what it produced was a really cool system, right? That obsession with fear, that obsession with managing violence created this really cool system that people all over the world are learning. And and I just want to do that little rant and remind you that the gamification of these movements. And if you start to watch, even in the fitness world, people are starting to talk about compound interest and small workouts. And I just saw a buddy of mine, and I don't know if I inspired it because he's done courses with me, where he was talking to a woman. It's actually I shared it in my Instagram feed, where there's a woman saying to him, he's it was kind of clever marketing. He's doing those those viral things where you got somebody in a table outside and it says, change my mind or ask me anything. He's doing that. And he's a well-known fitness guy. His name's Sean. And he has kind of on secret camera this overweight, middle-aged woman saying she would love to be fit as she gets older and talks about the reasons. So, like, as you get older, you need to be strong. You need to because life is changing and being in shape and having those muscles and, all the other things, play with your grandkids, take your dog for a walk, whatever, all the stuff. So Sean says, well, you've got like purpose and passion there. Why aren't you working out? And she's like, well, like, I don't want to go to LA Fitness and I don't want to go to these big gyms and I don't like, I get lost in there. And he just starts talking about, and then she says, look, I get up at 5:30 to go to work. And by the time I get home, it's 5:30. And now I get like that's my next shift is get dinner ready and I'm tired. I don't have time to go to the gym. So he says, why don't you slip in little workouts? Like instead of waiting for the elevator, take the stairs and park a little bit further, like the stuff that I tell you guys. And he gives this wonderful example. Uh, he says, if you're sitting for an hour, get up and do 20 squats. She goes, I can't do squats. I don't know how to do squats. And he's sitting in his chair, and it was so beautiful. You should watch it if you're on Instagram. He's sitting in a chair, so he pushes the chair back, right? And he goes like this. You guys can't see the chair, but you can imagine here's the back of the chair. He's here like this, and he goes, you're sitting in the chair, and he puts his arms on the chair, right? Brace, stand up, and he sits down. And then he stands up and he sits down. So if you had somebody who, let's say, didn't have the mobility and stability to go below parallel, right? Like like they're off balance or their back is arching, like you can do squats from a chair, right? I mean, they're called box squats. There's actual like you actually would do it in a gym, right? But you can have a wife, a husband, a parent, a grandparent, and say, "Hey, we're going to do squats today." Everyone says they don't do that. They don't know how to. That's bad for your knees. But everyone who gets off a fucking toilet squats. Everyone who gets out of a chair, that's a squat. You just don't think about it that way. So I loved what he did there, and I shared it and hope a lot of people watch it. But it made me kind of like fired me up to remind you that's how cool this shit is. That if I, open a door with a half spear, walking in there, I'm practicing aligning and making sure I got those three contact points. I've got my elbow, middle of my forearm, my hand on the bone, forearm, elbow makes contact, boom, I'm in. I feel good about that. But I'm also visualizing, right? So if I'm out in public and I open a door, very often I'll do a half spear to open a door. I'm not blasting it, right? I'm just walking up to the door, and instead of just putting my hand on the door to open it, I get in there and I'm cueing, just like I'm doing sternum pec clavicle or hitting somebody across it. It's another mental rep. Everyone tracking that, right? Um, the if I'm going to push a revolving door, I might be walking up to a revolving door and I put my hand out to as I'm coming in there. I'm mentally thinking about, like, if you walk up to a revolving door, a door to push it open, like one of those swinging doors. The next time you do that, contemplate having your hand make contact just before your foot steps into it. I can't demo it here, but I can go step, hand comes up, hand comes out, or I can move as I move into it, my hand comes out like the spear stance, like an index palm, and then I step into it. And what I'm doing is also rehearsing what we talk about, hands first, hands first. You could be walking up to the door, and as you get near the door, you're visualizing that you're moving through the primal to the protective, so you're getting another neural pattern of that rep. You don't do this stuff. I don't expect you out in public to walk up to a door and go ah, and do a flinch. But you can see all this stuff. There's so many ways to practice. When you're doing it, have any of you had the experience of to talk about this? Like you're in an elevator, you're in a coffee shop. Practice nonviolent postures besides strangers and play battleship on them, right? I could hit the head here. You guys remember the game Battleship, right? So let's say you're all in the elevator with me and I'm standing here like this. And Joe's looking at me, and I'm going, yeah, fuck this, whack, index palm to the head here. There's that guy Robert there. He's wearing a wife beater shirt. I'll just fucking half spear him across the neck, hit the brachial shot, slam, and I'm visualizing it, but I'm not doing anything. But I'm training my brain. It's contemplating proximity sense, who are targets, where I'd move. Have any of you done that yet with the spear system with nonviolent postures? While you're doing that, and so I can see the little psycho grins in your eyes. While you're doing that, you're getting like the little dopamine rush because it's like you've got this fantasy world going on that no one else can see. Everyone else in the elevator looking at their phone or looking up at the lights to see what floor they're on, and no situational awareness, not ready to go. The only thing I'll tell you is, like, if you're doing any of these exercises and it's making you paranoid and nervous, right? Then you're maybe doing it wrong or doing a little intense. It should be fun. That's why I use the word gamification, where you're now contemplate this, and I've written about this a bunch of times. Um, when uh, when you're doing a visual rep and maybe a little bit of a practical rep, right? Uh, what you're doing is you're creating a neural tag. So there's what I used to call in the 80s the mental blueprint. So the mental blueprint, uh, so the metaphor for anyone who trained with me 10, 15, 20 years ago, I would use the term a lot. I'd say if you have done a rep, you've got an idea of what to do. If you don't have a rep, there's nothing there. So the greatest amount of refractory delay, the fancy word of the gap time between stimulus response, the greatest amount of time you would have would be as if you got nothing to do and you got to figure it the fuck out from zero, right? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Hey, I can't say Siri out loud because my fucking shit will start talking. But what should I do if I'm being followed, right? And you're like, you know, and you'll get an answer. I can't do that here, right? And it takes long. But if you've got, and we call this, if you go through a bunch of my our trainer course, but also in the garage gym, I go over metacognition, big fancy word for how to think about thinking. And we have a whole model of metacognition. It basically says that if I get attacked, and I'm just using like a regular chart with 0 and 90 here, if I get attacked and I've done nothing to prepare for that, the degree of improvisation I have is 0 to wherever the attack is on that graph. Does that make sense? And I'm like, I'll pull up. I think I've got some metacognition articles I'll send you. Um, but the if you say, oh, I'm gonna study Kyokushinkai karate, and all the punches are like, from here, and you're practicing punching bulls in the head. That was Masoyama's claim to fame, right? And all your punches are here. Now what you've done is you've done a whole bunch of reps, but your neural pattern for the rep is a punch launching from the hip, coming out center mass, and driving forward, hitting with the first two knuckles. You everyone tracking me on that? Like that's what you see 10,000 reps of, and you're doing that. So you got now a neural tag to block and counter a Kyokushinkai classic reverse punch. And then you're out in the street one day, or someone says, "Hey, you want to be a bouncer at my club? I heard you're a black belt." Yeah. And then some guy's like drunk, and you're going, "Sir, get out of here." And he goes, "Get your fucking hands off me." And he punches you in the face, but you don't do wax on, wax off. Do you know how many times I've heard that fucking story from martial artists? My training didn't work in the fight. And it's not because they didn't have like adequate training. They had adequate training to fight somebody else who agreed to fight how they fought. That's why duels in the old days worked. Remember, like just pistol duels? How did they start? We agreed to a pistol duel. We started back to back, and we went one, two, three. And there was a second there who was going to shoot anyone that cheated. And we agreed to the death match. Do you know how stupid that is? Right? Right? You guys get what I'm saying? So there was a time when armies, right? If I was a commander and you were a commander, I'd ride up to Mario on my horse, and Mario coming to me, and I go, "King says you have one more chance to surrender your army, and what's the word they use? I'm trying to be funny right now. Pledge your allegiance to us." And Mario goes, "Tell your king to go fuck himself." And I go, "Well, then we'll fight to the death, right? In 1 hour." Okay. And it was so there were codes and ethics, right? If you're a samurai, you didn't throw your sword. Do you guys get what I'm getting at? Like brutal violence, the greatest violence we ever had rules. Imagine standing there like in a line with muskets. I'd have been the first guy that goes, "Why aren't we fucking sneaking around at night and killing people when they're fucking sleeping? Why do I have to stand in a line here and have this like fucking ball come flying at me that's not very accurate and kind of slow and looks really painful?" And then, anyways, don't get me started. Um, Violence today is really, really different. So back to the Kyokushinkai reverse punch model. Here we are doing the punch, doing that, and then you can't figure out why when a guy sucker punches you from going, "Get your fucking hands off me," and he goes, "Fuck you, you're going down," and then wings a maker. You can't figure out why that didn't work. Well, it didn't work because these systems don't incorporate neurobiology. What is your central nervous system going to do and override, from the classic wax on, wax off model? So the gamification part fills in things you can't do in a dojo. You don't realize how clever this is, right? Because if I say to you, look for ways to play in the real world with this, you're improving your situational awareness because you are educating your reticular activating system, right? You're thinking about stuff in your car. If I tell you, "Hey, sit in the car, and when you're in traffic, fucking do a little isometric spear shit against your steering wheel, get those fingers splayed." I fucking drive with my fingers splayed sometimes. Not all the time, but when I think about it, I think about it. Have you guys seen my video of how I use Captain of Crush hand grips? Have you guys seen that? Um, I don't know. I think I might. Alice, please remind me about metacognition for the guys and the hand grip video. I don't know. Sean, do you remember if I did the hand grip video for BTS90? I know I put it up on my Patreon. Do you remember?
I believe it was one of the first ones when you're showing it
Muted, or
how.
you're unmuted, but there's no sound. Okay. Anyways, we'll figure it out. It doesn't matter. But like where you're sitting there with hand grips, I know I went over in the garage gym. So there's a guy, and I think Rick is in BTS90. He's just not on the live call. So he's a shooter, strong hands. He's like a world-class judo coach. I had him, who was on the garage gym where I had Rick, and I don't have a fucking hand grip here. I use a brand called Captains of Crush. I don't get any commission, but they're fucking amazing. Um, if you look at if everyone's on gallery view, Michael's got one in front of him. They got a zero, they got a trainer model for pussies. They got zero for almost still a pussy. And then they got one for, adolescent strength. I'm like what number is that, Michael? Trainer, zero, one, a one? Okay. Like the one and two is fucking harder than most hand grips. The three, you'll moan on a three. Unless you already work hand strength, you'll be like this on a three. Watch my face, watch my body. You'll go, fuck. Where's your situational awareness? If I got to go like this and go, where's my situational awareness? It's in my hand, right? So I cycle through, depending on my conditioning, a zero, one, and a two. And pay attention to this. How many of you use resistance bands and started working out with resistance bands out like through how we described? If you're not doing that, some of you didn't put your hand up. Get the fucking resistance band. They're literally $1, right? Uh, um, get it on Amazon, get the resistance band. And this is the counterintuitive part. When I teach people about the resistance band, they think because we're all macho that I got to get to the big thick band and show people how strong I am. And I go, no, I want you on like the second lightest band. I want you wrapping this around you and doing index palms and elbows with light resistance because the light resistance doesn't affect your explosiveness or speed, but it creates a little harmonious tension that it stimulates your fast twitch muscle fibers. Ironically, talking about that, stand by. Um, this morning, uh, I was talking about it where one of our coaches, Casey, 30 years Jeet Kune Do, martial arts, street fighting, 10 years professional Thai boxer, retires like, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 years ago. He lives near me in Oceanside here. And when we started the garage gym 5 years ago, he would come over once a week and do demos with me and show it in context. And I taught him the spear form with the resistance band. And we have a certain rep scheme that you should practice and you should learn. So he's doing this. A few months later, he's getting back in shape. He calls uh, his coach, his Thai boxing coach, and it asks him to come over and hold pads for him. He just wants to hit some pads, doesn't want to spar. And his coach during the session, after a couple rounds, says, dude, you're hitting faster and harder now than you were when you were a pro and you were fighting. What the fuck are you doing? You guys can hear me still? I got the leaf blower outside. I can't hear myself. Um, so he says, you're hitting harder and faster now that you're retired. What are you doing? And Casey says, I'm not doing anything. I haven't even been hitting a bag. And then he goes, holy fuck. I've been doing the resistance band drills every day. Couple minutes here, couple minutes there. It's fucking wild, right? And it was an intuition that I had. I just started it for garage gym. But what I used to, when I used to box a lot, I'd have little weights in my hand. And where you'd see some people like with 20-pound weights holding like that, doing that. But if the weight changes the biomechanics of the actual tactic, you're developing the wrong neural pattern. Like if the weight is so heavy that you're now recruiting more of your shoulder to hold the weight, and then you got to go and step in and throw the punch, you're developing compensation patterns, and the firing, the neuromuscular firing, isn't what you would be doing if you're actually in a nonviolent posture, going hand on control, whack, and the hand just moves first because you're used to the load and the concentration being back here instead of up here. Everyone tracking that? So So this is super important. Again, if you don't have the resistance band, you are missing out on a low-tech accessory that can take your speed and power to the next level. Good stuff. And here's the thing is don't let your ego, like if you're struggling with it, that where you can't, like if you feel you got to go core to extremity, but you can't connect the hand moving first coming out, that you're going, and there's that resistance because the band, because you can go up, I've got, usually you buy them, there's like six bands in a bag, right? And there's, depending on if you buy them from China or America, the price can be $15 or $45. There's a little band, you don't feel anything. The next band up, you start to feel the resistance. That's what you want. Maybe you go up one band if you're strong. I did a demo in one of the garage gym classes where I took like one of the heavy bands and I put it on. I go, I'm pretty fucking strong. My neural patterns for spear are good. Watch this. And I put the bands on and I'm like, you know, I couldn't extend the index palm. And for me to do it, like the grip visual, I had to go like this, which means I'm not practicing situational awareness. I'm not practicing Trojan horse. Do you see how subtle the system is? Right? And I see this all the time in fucking demos. People send me demos of a guy, I had a buddy of mine, really good Krav Maga instructor, and he's a demo he put online of him doing spinning back kicks. And it's so fast and so powerful, and he's like 240 pounds, but it's so telegraphic. The only way you could make it work is if you're kickboxing, not in the street. But everyone is going, wow, look how high your leg is. Flexibility. Wow, look how loose you are. Mobility. Look how fast you are. But they're talking about the fast part is the elliptical angle at the top of the kick. If you draw a gun really slow and then shoot fast, you still lose the gunfight, right? So I could be here going bang, 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 bang. Like, so the real effort and the real skill for a gunfight is getting your gun out of a holster and getting that little hole pointing towards the bad guy faster than the bad guy can point his little hole towards you, right? Then elements of accuracy, it depends on distance and all that come in. But if you can't get the gun out of the holster, meaning, that's why I always tell people as far as kicking, for those of you who are martial artists who love kicking, I always say never lead with a kick unless that's literally the closest weapon, closest target, because you're standing on your feet. There are some exceptions, but in general, your hands are always going to be faster than your feet. I don't give a fuck how fast your kicks are. And don't send me videos of unicorns. Here's the one guy who did a spinning hook kick and knocked this guy head out, and then there was a bar fight. Like the unicorn doesn't count. If you can't do that, it doesn't matter that you found a video of one person that can. Do you get it? Like my job is to make you think in a more safe, logical way. And this is what our ego sometimes does. It goes, "Oh, here's a video of this guy like 10 years ago. He did this. I thought you said that. Are you fucking kidding me? You found one video of one person? Like there's 100,000 fights of not that happening, and you find one. That's the unicorn video. Doesn't count." Let me wrap up this one thing and go into our check-in on the grips on this call. So here's a guy. I'm gonna check my see who's in the background. Maybe Rick is on here. He's not. So Rick, the guy's like a world-class judo instructor. How strong is their grip? Fucking judo. He's a firearms nut. He's been shooting for decades. Was in the government. I think he's retired now, but maybe not. So he carried a gun, strong grip, serious shooter. We were in the garage gym one day, and I was explaining what I do with my hand grip is I don't go like this and get a grip because I'm a guy going, watch how much weight I can lift, where I break form and I lose all concentration. I'm not saying not to do that. All of my training was always practical, tactical. Everything I did, I wanted practical, tactical. That's how I describe it. If, and I'm not saying I never did workouts where I fell down on the floor and wanted to throw up. I did those workouts too. But my workouts intuitively always left me ready to fight. I think I talked about this in one of our calls, right? Where it's like if you're killing yourself every day in the gym and you need 24 hours to recover and then you go work out again, that means you're unsafe every fucking day, right? Except for, during your workout. And when's the last time you were attacked, in the middle of your workout at the gym? Meaning, and I would, you guys get what I'm saying? I don't want to give 12 more metaphors. Like if you get up and you're always going, I can't walk today. I did legs yesterday. And then it's like someone goes, run. And you're like, oh, fuck. Like, run. It's a fire. It's an avalanche. It's fucking a giant bear, a saber-tooth tiger. I can't run. I did legs. I'm not saying you can't do that shit. What I am saying for me, it was practical, tactical. I wanted to be able to fight. So my hand grip routine is I find a weight that still challenges the dynamic function of the hand, but doesn't change. When I say make a fist, I got to be able to go. And so when I punch out, I'm tempted to run out and get my grip out of the car to uh, to show you this, but maybe I'll do it on the next call. Why don't I have one in my office here? Oh, hold on a second. Boom. I knew I had one of my. So my whole thing is here is that if I do this when I'm driving, I go straight punch, and my hand is open. I fire here, and as I'm hitting, I'll use the line here to pretend that's the face. As I'm hitting, I go pop. If I needed to go and do that, I just telegraphed before I could make a fist making contact with you. If I'm doing a jab, right, my hand is open. I can do it at this angle up so you can see it. And if I hit just at the top of the flag, that's some tall guy. I'm not going slam where I telegraph. My movement is I punch, and now I got rotational, like the PVC, my rotational speed. I'm about to make contact, crack. So I'm training my hand to say, hey, man, I'm in trouble. I'm training myself to go snap and have, if I chose to make a fist, if you're not really good at striking, I tell everybody open palm, index palm, don't make a fist. I'm a really good boxer compared to most people. I know where to hit soft target. I've also cracked my wrist, broken both thumbs, and busted this knuckle in fights. So the most bruised part, broken part of any fighter's anatomy, cops included, are hands. So why we don't teach cops to hit open hand and strike, we shouldn't. But I love to box, so what I did is I developed this routine here. I'm driving in the car, I go straight punch. I do a short jab, I rotate, bang. I'm off camera there, bang, and my hand closes as I'm anticipating impact. So it's training me to still do nonviolent posture. And if I choose, because it's a neural pattern to make a fist, I can go index palm or I can go fuck you and punch you. And I've got the fast twitch coordination and strength. And my hands are rock hard, right? Like I don't have to make a fist and I could like drop somebody with my hands like this. Because when I close my hand, I'll wiggle. Now here's the thing I did with Rick. I also would do uppercuts. I'm in the car, uppercut. And my hand closes as it's hitting here. And I'll sit there and I'll do it left side, left hook. And I'm visualizing where I'm hitting. Gamification of strengthening your hand. So I'm not just sitting there in the car going, make sense? So I did one. I don't think I can do it with a number one. The other, so I have a routine I do. I go straight punch. I go fucking conventional boxing, corkscrew punch. I do uppercut. I do hook punch. And then I reverse it, so I hit it at a different angle, right? So I get it closed at that angle, and then I do so. Yeah, that's like taxing. This hits the bottom three fingers more, and if I reverse it, now I'm hitting the top three and getting it through there. And the thing that I would do, I'd visualize grabbing somebody by the throat, fucking, like I'm in a fight. Oh shit, wow, grab that throat, grab that head, and I got the person. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking I'm taking the hand and my camera keeps fucking me up. And I turn my hand this way and then try to close it. And I could just close that. And Rick was on the call, and I just had him, I said, hey, you can close it like this, but now what I want you to do is open the palm. So what you're doing is you're disconnecting a bunch of the cross extensor muscles and fibers because you twisted your hand. There's no way you can have the same strength. Now, with your hand twisted this way, can you close it? And that's really fucking hard. Um, and he couldn't close, he's just in his face. So, but you guys understand what we're doing is everything I'm doing is practical, tactical. Captain's a crush. I don't get any discount, but you can buy individuals, you can buy a pack. They're pretty expensive, but just get like is it I don't know if it's 0 and 1 or if it's trainer and 1. You'll see what it is, but don't be embarrassed by getting the trainer. This is a number 1. I use the one lower than this in my car for quicker stuff. Like I use No Ego. Someone sees me doing resistance band stuff. Someone sees me doing the resistance band stuff, and they're like, "The fuck's this?" You know, because the male ego wants the bigger, the big band on there. It's silly, not necessary. Make sense, guys? Okay. So that's my rant. Let's do a check-in. Michael, how was your week?
Week was good. Just getting in the groove of things.
I don't know, the audio, I can't hear you.
How now?
You're unmuted, but
That's weird.
is my computer working? Alice, talk to me for a second. Maybe something on my side.
I can hear them. Can you
You
hear
can't
me?
hear me?
I can hear. I
There
can
we go.
hear.
Holy
Can you
shit,
hear?
maybe it was my computer. Michael, go back. Let me hear you again.
There we go.
Testing.
There we
1,
go.
2,
What
3.
the
There
fuck?
we go.
I hit some button on my computer, so it was I had no sound. Did you know that? Could it see my sound was down? But you guys could hear
Nope.
me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sean, your system probably works. We'll check that out. Okay, Michael, how was your week?
It was good. Just grinding along.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Anything jump out on any of the articles? Anything go, oh, if I
No, it's just the discipline. Just do it. No excuses. No feeling sorry for yourself.
right?
Just do it.
Dig it. I love it. That's um yeah, I'm gonna trademark that and put that on a shirt. Just do it.
Right.
I like that. Okay, cool. Let's go to Mario, who looks like he's in the witness protection program right now because the lights are so low down there. How you doing, man? How's your week?
Yeah, I got an amazing week. I'm on vacation, so it's always
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
Um, I'm training every morning. I'm doing also the tactical snacks, and I try to combine them
Yeah.
from the ground, from seated positions, all positions.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
only thing I'm thinking about is when I'm in the restaurant, I'm trying to do a lot of visualization because, hello? You
Yeah.
can hear me?
You're cutting in and out. I heard you're trying to do a lot of visualization, and I didn't hear what you said you're having trouble with. The internet chopped up. I think you're
Okay. So when I'm in the restaurant, I'm doing a visualization, a practice, and then the thing is, I'm sitting down, scanning my surrounding, visualize for threat scenarios, and
Yeah.
always training to be ready. And I'm making little movements, like little knee strikes under the table, to
Yeah.
put it in the system. And
I love it.
using a lot of the halo scan.
Nice. But it's feeling better. Like the movement feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Good stuff. Okay, cool. Joe, how was your week?
Hey team, yeah, not bad week. To be fair, like the getting really into the tactical snacks. Normally, a type of person. It's I think Mario said I'm normally in a routine that I condense my training into like my hour and early in the morning. So I'm still doing that, but during the day, I'm banging out the tactical snacks. Really quite fun. I was at a meeting. I've got just my hourly timer set. So I was at a meeting. And my timer went off, and my brain was going, yeah, I need to get down on the floor here and start doing some push-ups and stuff like that, which obviously I couldn't. So once the meeting was finished, yeah, that was me, quick into the nearest toilet, and banged out a couple of spear forms and a couple of other wee bits and pieces like the push-ups on that. So yeah, enjoying it, really enjoying the tactical snacks. Big thing for me is getting it. I'm still finding it a bit of a challenge just getting the steps in. That's just me, just with yeah, 10,000 steps may seem easy for some people, but it's just like, yeah.
It's not. I mean, like if you go out as a dedicated walk, it's almost an hour, depending on your pace, the length of your legs. Obviously, going, shutting off your phone, and there were times when I was able to walk more actively and freely. There were times where I'd go for a walk, but I'd schedule like 3 phone calls that I knew were going to be 20 minutes each. And I'd go do that. It's not ideal, but I'm moving while I'm talking as opposed to sitting. Next is no calls, but I'm listening to music. And I got my phone, I'm listening to music, going for the walk. The best thing for you, if you can get near nature, is just like, can you, Alan Watts, famous American Zen philosopher, my favorite quote is if you can't meditate in a boiler room, you just can't meditate. I think I've shared that once or twice, maybe, but that means like, of course we can all go to a tree, like a vacation like Mario and be relaxed, but how do we relax when we're back at work? Meaning, how do we relax with the chaos around us? I mean, that's that next level of kind of situational awareness, self-awareness, where, okay, this is the ride we're on. Okay, enjoy the ride. So the ideal thing in that is an uninterrupted workout where you're actually meditating. It's a moving meditation. You're not listening to Metallica or whatever gets you going. You're just out there. Most of us can't do that, and it's a real challenge the first time you walk. The other night, I went out to dinner and movie with the kids and the family, and I had my phone on my charger in the bedroom, and I changed. I came downstairs, and I always have my phone with me, right? And I actually have 2 phones when I travel, and I forgot my phone upstairs, and just that reflex of like indexing, where's my phone? And I said, well, fuck it, I'm with everybody, like I don't need my phone. But even though I had my kids with me and my wife with me, 5 dogs at the house, right? I'm going like 5 miles away to get a burger and go to a movie. I felt my body trying to feel where my phone was. Do you guys get that? Like that's probably not good, right? Forget if you're conspiracy theorists and going, oh, wait a minute, we got EMF rays and you got all this magnet on you and all of that. Just this idea of you going, where are my keys? Where's my phone? Where's the habit of that? So breaking free of that technology is probably a really good exercise to do every so often. Having said that, I'm not like a freak about this stuff. I always, I always have the fucking phone with me. But I also on purpose go, I'm going out now. I don't have my phone. And I'll tell them, I do that on purpose. And it's weird, but I notice it, but I enjoy it being weird. Having said all that, some things to do, right? Park further from your destination, and walk, force yourself to walk. Like a lot of times we go, oh, we're going to this restaurant and we drive around the block 3 times trying to find a closer parking spot. And then we wait with our blinkers on. Someone's going to leave soon. Instead of park 2 blocks away, fucking walk to the restaurant. Take the stairs or the escalator instead of the elevator. Um, get up and like do things where you're going to walk to lunch, or you could force yourself. So while it's not a dedicated 10,000 step, And like they say 10,000, but is it 7,000? Is it 12,000? It's just fucking, it's good for your spine and good for your posture and good for your brain to go fucking walk. So don't beat yourself up if you're, what are you getting? Like what kind of steps? Is he gonna say like 150, stays in this room? He's like kidnapped.
Three steps. No, I'm around about around about 5.5, 6,000. So I am around that part. And the fact is, I don't have a smart watch on me. So it's normally with my phone around that part. But I've sussed out with the lovely Scottish weather being what it is in our lovely summertime when it's up when it's pissing down outside. Because I work in a hospital environment, I can instead of going outside, I can just go up and down several flights of stairs, and that seems to be doing it seems to be doing the trick as well. So
Yeah, I
I've got
mean,
workarounds around it.
yeah, I mean, just do more of them, knowing it's good for you. At the end of the day, like if somebody had told me that walking 10,000 steps would have made my my discs and spine stronger and I'd be in less pain, and they told me to do that 10 years ago, if I knew the type of pain I'm in now could have been mitigated by working out more and walking more, I'd have fucking done that. And there's a lot of research around how good walking is for your spine and your discs, you know. So just get it in there. Good stuff. Robert, how was your week?
It was the best week since we started. It was
Really?
very
Why?
good. But I was on the road. So anyway, I feel back. I'm definitely back in the groove. Discipline and motivation are high, and I'm digging it again because I was distracted, obviously. I got some stuff done on the road, but it was quantity was way down. Um, so it was excellent week. I went through the No Fear program again last night, and it's uh it's interesting. I don't even know if that's the right word, but when you go back through it, and now that you've been in training for a while, um, it gets better every time. You understand stuff, um, not that you did in the first place, but you understand it at a deeper level.
Sure.
Um, so it's been going good, and I love that Tom Brady video.
Isn't that good?
That was intense. I get
Yeah.
it.
And it's weird. I was going to wait till the end to bring that up. You know, I wrote really short thing about that,
Yeah.
but it's one of the reasons why uh like I'm always on and I'm so intense. I'm and it's weird. It never occurred to me till I saw that, and that's why I want to share with you guys. But uh you know, growing up, my kids would go, my friends are so scared of you. They say you're so intense. And I'd be like, why? Like I got the stupidest sense of humor. If we hang around, I'm like, but when I'm on, if I'm doing a demo or I'm teaching, like I'm laser focused, you know, and I'm a perfectionist like with that. Um, so, you know, I'm the Tom Brady of self-defense, just without the $1 billion that he has. But
Yeah, and
the
you're number three on Chat
really,
GPT.
you got number three?
I got number three, but I still think that's really fucking impressive. What'd you get?
As what? Who's the best self-defense instructor?
Yeah.
I didn't do it, but I had three people do it, and I was number one. I
Okay.
didn't. What did
Sorry.
what did you enter? What was your question?
I just the same one you just asked. I said, who's the best self-defense instructor in the world? So
That's
I got
wild.
two jujitsu dudes.
Yeah, but that's not self-defense. So
I know it. You're
that's
right. It's not.
that's
I agree.
disqualified. The
So I didn't mean to bring you down there,
I
coach.
did. I got guys, I'm shutting this call down right now. But I want to show you this because I was
I
on a
should have shut up.
I was on a marketing call with a company, and I said to them during the call, I sent this to Alice right away, but like during the call, I said to them, it's very frustrating because like if you said who are the top three self-defense instructors in the world, my name is going to be in that list, and I don't know who the two other fuckers are, right? And we were joking, and Kayla, she's on her computer, and this is like off-site. We're not in person. Um, she she goes, I just did this on ChatGPT and she shares it. You guys see this? Who is the greatest self-defense instructor in the world? There isn't a single universally blah, 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 but highly recognized. Tony Blauer, #1, Jeff Thompson. And then at the bottom here, if you're asking in terms of current influence and real-world application for civilian professional, Tony Blauer is often considered one of the most innovative living instructors due to scientific. Blah, 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 blah. You know what this means, guys? That means your fucking price for BTS90 is going to quadruple the next time we do it because I am the #1. Okay, just fucking around. But then I had there was another guy on the call in Venice did it, and I was #1, and then someone else did it, and I was #2. My daughter did it. I sent this to my kids. And my kids are so fucking funny. I sent this to my daughter. My young daughter says to me, wow, you've scared the shit out of ChatGPT. It's got Stockholm syndrome. Like, she's 22. She goes like, it's you're the best, Tony. So scared. I went, I cannot believe you said that. But I was up there on a bunch of them. Did you guys all punch it in now? I can't believe, Robert, are you on the paid or the free ChatGPT?
Free.
Oh, that's why. Yes, fucking, bargain.
My
basement,
bad.
right? Alice, did you do it? What did you get when you did it?
It was you on top.
Fucking thank God, because like that Robert's telling me how great I am, and then goes, by the way, you're not #1. I'm just saying. Okay, cool. Mario, did you do it? What'd you get?
I did it. I got ChatGPT 5, and it said you on the first one.
Fuck yeah! Thank God.
And then the second one is Krav Maga Imi.
Okay. It's interesting. Just as a reminder, I mean, you guys are already in the club, but my name and then a style under it, not the same. But you guys can fuck around with that. But back to you guys. I was just fucking around there. Okay, here we go. Guys, we got to vote one of you guys off the island. Who wants to vote Robert off the call? Let's go since you're unmuted. But Robert, is there anything else you want to add, or are you good? You want to leave it with the downer, the depressing, that I'm not #1? I'm gonna bust your balls for that for a long
Yeah,
time.
I know. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, Coach.
Okay,
I
good.
already fucked up, so I don't want to
Yeah.
go on.
I appreciate that. Alice, how's your week?
Progress, like as a gradient of getting better. It's a lot better than it was last time I checked in.
Yeah,
And
good.
it's a combination of just defaulting to basics, hydration, sleeping on time, doing my tactical snacks with the
Hey,
sun.
hold on 1 second, please.
Okay.
Give me, baby. Come here. Hang on, my dogs aren't supposed to be out.
Okay.
Hey, I just saw Hazel walking in the backyard. Are the dogs supposed to be out? I thought there were people here. I might have to bolt in a second just in case, but we're good. Sorry to interrupt that. Gradient progressively getting better.
Yep.
Archer. Sorry, Alice.
No worries.
Okay. Most important thing is, what did your ChatGPT say about me?
It said what the best means. My ChatGPT is especially smart. So so it's like what best self-defense means is real-world experience, instructional clarity and reach, scientific grounding, system effectiveness under duress, ethics and impact.
Wow.
And it has you at #1. And then it says, but so who's the best? My honest analysis, Tony Blauer stands out because it's the most complete system, as the most complete system builder, educator, and thought leader. The other people that they mentioned, one was an author, One was like target focus, and then
Okay.
another one was a preemptive guy. But
Okay.
so essentially the other so
No, we don't care about that. Right.
but
No, that's cool. That's interesting.
yeah, and the thing that came up at the beginning of your talk, there's a study when we're thinking about the exercises, but I just wanted to mention it during my check-in. A study by Crum and Langer, where housekeepers were split into two groups. One were told their activities the activities they did each day, vacuuming, scrubbing, carrying linens, counted as good exercise. So that's all they were told, the mindset.
Yeah.
And the other group wasn't told anything. And then after 4 weeks, without changing routines, the exercise group lost weight, lowered blood pressure, improved body composition, while the other group saw no change.
Really?
So that's
So send that to me because I'm going to send that to my wife.
okay. All right. The only difference was mindset, believing their daily movements counted, made their bodies respond like they started a fitness program. So
Yeah.
this is just an idea of mindful reps and thinking.
Is that a real study? Because
Yeah.
there's so much garbage out there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's no, I've referenced it before, and I'll double check its
So
credibility.
why this is important, and we've talked about it in previous BTS90s where they did, the University of Chicago basketball study, 3 groups. You guys have heard it. If not, you haven't heard it. They had 3 groups. One group was told, hey, shoot some hoops. We're going to measure your accuracy. See you in a month. Bye. Another group got to practice every day, measure their score, practice, and measure again in a month. And then the third group, and I might have the order mixed up, but another group was told only visualize. You can move in the air, but you're not going to touch a ball. You're not going to do stuff. The group that didn't practice didn't improve at all. The group that shot hoops improved X%, and the group that visualized but didn't shoot hoops was 1% less accurate. They'd improved the same amount as people. So the power of visualization, which is a slightly different study. Alice, we should do a combined article, but not make it heady on this concept, because when I have you do visualizations at a Starbucks but not do anything, do you understand that you're doing everything? Like you're still, if I say to you, palm strike that person in the Starbucks and then run away because you're going to get arrested, you got your 1 rep in. But if I say, I want you to do like your nonviolent postures at the bank, at the Starbucks, in the elevator, don't hit anybody, see it, think proximity sense, optic nerve, analyzing, watch hands, when are you going to move? You're doing these fucking reps here. And then the last study is the chess masters that were burning 2,000 plus calories during a tournament, and they're sitting there like this going, and they're because of all of the energy of concentration. So what happens now when you do a spear push-up where you're on the ground in a tactical plank, right? And you're at that angle and somebody cues you, that somebody being me, says, your tactical plank on the ground is the nonviolent posture. That's the negotiator, isn't it? And now the highest level of the spear push-up, and I know it's in the form in the vault somewhere, where you drop down and you say to yourself, visualize the floor as the bad guy. You're in your negotiator, but it's a plank. Your arms are slightly bent, fingers are splayed, arms are outside 90. Drop and turn your head so you don't break your nose or break your teeth. Have you guys seen this one in the video where you drop down and you go primal? And then from that position, you push away the floor, but you don't extend, you don't lock out the elbow like in a conventional push-up. Now you're doing a push away danger. You're doing a push-up, but it's a practical, tactical push-up. You're visualizing a threat. You're telling your brain, I'm at close proximity. Oh shit, you're leaning into the flinch, and then you're weaponizing the flinch. And you can do, like I've had people where I do 3 reps of that, and I work with them, and they're fucking burned out. It was like they just did 20 technical push-ups. fucking pumped, swollen, just doing 3 reps of that. So you're combining all of this other stuff, like all of this mindset, mindfulness, and all that. So good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. I can't wait to tell Jessie that the reason she has to clean the house is because it's part of her fitness journey. I'm sure that will get me another night on the couch. Thank you for the relationship advice. Okay, cool. Moving on there. Anything else?
No, that's it. It's just, it's a lot better. A lot of cycles through the fear loop cycle behavior. That's been very helpful. And I feel like on trajectory to back to my capacity.
Right. Right on. Okay, cool. Dave, how was your week?
Hey, Coach, real good. Glad to see everybody here. I've participated in a couple of big events these last couple of weeks and out with a lot of crowds
Nice.
and just a lot of people. And obviously, getting back online with the spear system and just the situational awareness. Man, just some different thoughts when you are trying to be situationally aware, say from morning till night, and you're in these big groups, and you just talked about someone doing some exercises and the push-ups and being tired. I've noticed that, man, I'm tired because I'm operating at another level as far as my awareness goes. The other thing I bring up to you is one of the videos that's in the vault is the spear form, and just great going through that and being a little more technical, getting some good form down on that. And one of the things that you had talked about is just narrating or using the narration portion so that it's training your brain. I was able to use that. I did some instruction myself on the firearms portion this last week, and having that student just go through the different steps of the draw, like what you do with the spear form. And then the last part I'll just throw out is just getting more into the vocabulary. So the CWCT and the D1, D2, just learning more about the spear vocabulary. But other than that, great going after it. My steps are in. Need to get a few more workouts in, but other than that, it's all good, Coach.
Good stuff, man. That's a great update. I love that that narration thing. I love that you adapted that to firearms. It's also great for like recall. It starts to train your brain like for after action. You'll see if you start to make that part of your training, when someone goes, "What the hell just happened there?" It's like you're training part of your brain to be narrating and picking up pre-contact cues and communicating what you're going to do next. So that's kind of interesting. Good stuff, man. John, you're driving. Be careful. If you can't talk, I'll go to Sean. There you go. No audio. Don't have an accident, man. Sean, let's go to you while John starts to figure it out. How's your week, man? I know, other than your hamstring.
Yeah, off to a good week. I was checking all the boxes, feeling great, and then hurt myself sprinting like an idiot. So immediate fear spike, had to kind of work my way through that. I'm laser focused now. So like because something happened, I think it helped lock me in on a couple of things and on recovery. Like just literally got back from another brutal session, and that bad day letter really kind of resonated.
Yeah.
Because immediately I was like, oh crap, I messed myself up. I'm supposed to be instructing in 2.5 weeks. Am I going to be able to do it? And just being able to reframe the brain, going, what's important now? What's my goal, action, result? And let's work a plan. Because the only way I'm going to get progress is to work a plan. So, like I said, I pitied myself for a couple of hours, and I'm like,
Right.
time to get my shit together. Let's go.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. So Sean thought he fucking maybe tore a bicep or fucked up really bad, but it's amazing how fast like you go 2 weeks ahead and a movie started. Right. The movie
Yep.
started about like false expectations appearing real. I'm just moving my mind. Don't think if that happens to you guys, that's normal. Like if you're a threat management expert, which we all are, I mean, every human is, whether regardless of your training or not, we go, oh my God, this is going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get married, or whatever it is. Our brain is always, trying to control the future, trying to predict the future. So there's nothing wrong with that. The power of no fear is going, am I visualizing or am I stuck in the fear loop? Because there's a lot of value in exploring the fear, because that's how you create your contingency plans or your strategy to extract yourself from the fear loop. So don't ever think like if something, you stub your toe, and you go, fuck, I stubbed my toe, I suck, my situational awareness suck. Oh, it's swelling up. I'm not going to be able to wear my dress shoes. I was supposed to go tap dancing tomorrow night. And like, that's normal, right? Do you guys remember the story? What was the story with fucking Jackie Chan when he broke his foot in a movie? And if you watch it, if you know the story, you don't notice it in the movie, but in the outtakes, and Jackie Chan's movies are very famous for after the credits are going, they start to show all the falls and all the fucking takes and shit like that. You'll see close-ups where he's got a cast on his foot and it's painted like a running shoe because he does all his own stunts. So he broke his foot during one of the takes, and instead of going, it was like as soon as he got the cast on, it's okay, make it match my other running shoe. I'm gonna finish the scene, right? Pretty wild. We don't have to do that. He was fucking nuts, but the metaphor is there. It's like, what are you gonna do now? Right? What are you gonna do now? So good job, Sean. Okay. I don't know if John, are you in the background? Are you safe? Interesting that the interesting comment about Jeff. Are you friends with him, Joe? Or you just knew him from that?
No, I wasn't friends. He was a different part of the country. It'll be we can have this conversation another time, but absolutely early 90s, his traditional background and obviously his background in working, doing door security, etc. He brought the sort of reality-based martial arts into the UK along with a guy called Peter Constantine.
Sure.
And they got a lot of backlash from the traditional martial arts world from it. They got sort of outcasted, but very quickly it became quite popular. So he was sort of one of the main guys in UK that sort of him and Peter that brought the reality stuff into it. And I'd done quite a bit of training with him. I've spent quite a bit of time in those early 90s around that part. As I say, he knew stuff, but the system here is a totally different level. As I say, this would be I could do a whole conversation on what that was then compared to what it is now. This is just a different, far better level. Yeah, so, and I haven't, it's been quite a while since the last time I'd contacted him because he's took a different journey. He's totally took a back step and went very spiritual on it and went and just sort of, he's closed the doors to teaching, etc., like that, around that part. But yeah.
No, maybe that's why I'm number one now, because he stopped. But just fucking
Yeah, I
around.
think you're always number one, coach, probably.
Thank you, Joe. You hear that, Robert? You hear that?
Yeah, I'm gonna update my app. Okay.
Okay, you maybe needs an update.
That's
John,
that's a pint you owe me, coach, whenever I come over in September.
yeah, maybe. That's for sure. You're
However,
coming, are you coming over? Nice. Dig it. Guys, if you're on the spear journey and you've done your spear cert, you're eligible to come to that event in September, which is wild. So it's going to be a weekend or 3 days. But hit me up an email. Okay, I got a meeting at 1:30. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm going to let you guys go. I think I got everybody. John, I don't know what's with your audio. but I'm hoping you're having a good week. I saw the thumbs go up. I saw splayed fingers there. You know, I don't want any trouble. Okay, guys. Robert, what do you got?
For the record, I agree wholeheartedly with Joe. Have a
Okay,
good.
I know you do. I'll just blame it on your prompt was it was not a good prompt into ChatGPT. Guys, fun call, interesting stuff. Have a great week, and look forward to next week's call and whatever letters I spit out this week. So cool, man. Be good. Have a great
Thanks,
weekend.
Coach.
Bye, everyone.